We are live. What's up, beasties? It's me. It's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to another episode of Beast Friends Forever. And today I have a very special guest. He is an amazing booktuber. He brings hidden gems to all of our TBRs, but now he is about to be a debut in the US. More on that later. Author, and I'm talking about the man that we all love, one of the nicest, kindest humans I've met, and also one of the nicest people in the book community, supports everybody, and we are here to support him today. And I'm talking about Abel Montero. Welcome, my friend.
Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm so honored. Really.
I'm honored that you're here, man. It's awesome.
Thank
it's
you for
exciting.
having me.
Yeah, no problem. So before I say hi to some people in the chat, before we get into anything, I just want to say, take a deep breath and tell me, how are you feeling after that cover reveal yesterday?
I don't know. I'm trying to recover in the sense that I am really enthusiastic. I am flabbergasted because I didn't expect it to go that well. Mm-hmm. And to have such an amount of people tweeting and retweeting, and it's been amazing because they have shown a lot of love and support, and in a very generous way. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm trying to process it, and I'm trying to actually to count the numbers because I had a lot of interactions. Mm-hmm. All very positives, and new people getting to know me because of that. Yeah, and yeah, I was hoping it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be that good.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was everywhere.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on all the socials I can be on, and I saw it everywhere, man. So it's exciting.
I had a friend from Italy, one of the few people that I actually know in Italy that actually on X Twitter, mm-hmm. and she said, you're one of the few people that I follow actually on that platform, and and it is my timeline is full with the covers and tweets and retweets. And she said, I'm going to change the name of my account to Abel Montero Stan because that's all I have on my timeline.
Right, that's all that she sees. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well,
and thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Yes. So we are talking about, if anyone didn't see it, this. Oh wait, hold on. It just messed up. There it goes. This beautiful cover right here. Look at that. Stunning. Mm-hmm. You can see I've got the red shirt on. I've got the red lights.
Yeah,
we are all about the crimson.
I should have talked this better. I should have wear something red and black.
Yeah, that's all right. You're the author. You can wear whatever you want. That doesn't matter. We do the hype for you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said we do all the hype for you. You don't have to do it. You wrote the book. You did all the hard work.
You're doing a great job. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, let's give a shout out to the people in the chat so far. We got Mr. Tim McKay. Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it.
The man.
Sarah Beth is here. Yes, the cover is amazing.
A woman of culture.
Oh, yes. Alex is here. Howdy, my friend.
Everything.
And John, hail to you, my friend.
Another incredible man. An incredible person. Awesome. I could listen to him talking about books all day.
Yep. Oh yeah, me too. Oh, here we go. Chris has the red and black. Has the white. All the covers are. Yeah, there we go. That's true. There's white in your cover.
Yeah, we are matching.
Yes. Awesome. So more people are trickling in, but this is just such a privilege for me. So I've mentioned on stuff before, but I watched your channel for a long time before I even got onto BookTube. You were one of the people that I enjoyed watching. I always loved the way you talked about books. I love just your just chill, calm, kind demeanor. I love your channel, and you always introduced me to authors I hadn't heard of and indie authors. So that really got me kickstarted on getting into indie. And then, just your personality and just how great you are inspired me to start my own. So I just want to say thank you for all the entertainment you brought me and the books you introduced me to. and for just being a great supporter of this whole community. You're awesome, man. So it's a privilege to have you on Beast Friends Forever.
Thank you so much, and please keep showering with love, because that's actually what the whole reason we all do books,
Right?
write
Yeah.
books,
We all
and
want a
be
little
on
bit of that,
booktube.
right?
It's because of that. No, I think that I am really enthusiastic about books generally, and about people talking about books. So when I got the chance to interact with people on this platform, it completely changed my life for the better. And when I listen to someone and I talk to someone and they say, I would like to try and kickstart my channel, but I am afraid, I'm shy, I don't know if people will be interested in what I say. I always think I've been there and trying to help people starting their booktube journey, because the platform is that diverse.
Right.
It gives space to everyone's voice, and we're all interested in different things. A few of the people that have started their channel in the same moment that I did, in the same couple of months, they read completely different things, and completely different genres, and they actually get me interested in things that I would have never considered. So it is a nice community that has this really it pushes people to be better in a way. Of course, there are channels that I completely despise. I will never mention here because they made me anxious because of their take on books and their attitude in general.
Right.
But for the most part, all of my interaction with booktubers and people following booktube channels have been completely amazing. So yeah, thank you. And if I have even the slightly influence on your channel, given the incredibly good work you're doing, I'm proud of it. Absolutely.
Hey, you did, and I appreciate that. That's nice of you to say, but you definitely did, my friend, for sure.
And the channel is growing pretty well. So
yeah, it's doing all right. I'm pretty excited about it. It has its ebbs and flows, and I think what I am most proud of is I haven't had any videos go off. I haven't had anything over 700 views yet. I haven't had any videos go viral, nothing like that. So like I've had to scrape for every subscriber I've gotten. So I'm excited that with what I've got. So yeah,
but
it's been
I think
a fun
we have
ride.
to cherish this moment, because I'm the same boat. Okay, my channel grows steadily, really slowly but steadily, and I cherish this moment because of the people that I'm following now. They're following me now. I think they will kind of stick with me for the rest of my career on BookTube.
I agree.
So we have kind of a closer relationship with them.
We got our people.
And because the larger the channel becomes, the more casual it becomes too. It's good, of course, if it grows and more people follow.
That's good, but you're right.
This moment, this kind of relationship we have with the people connecting with us, it's amazing. And the same thing is about the authors that I'm creating a connection with, because of the shout outs that I give and reviews and all the rest. I think that given the fact that most of them are really small authors that really need the kind of push and reviews and discussions about their books, the kind of relationship that we have, it's unique because I have no one to talk about books in my life outside.
Me neither, man.
So
Same here.
I'm really grateful.
Oh yeah, me too. A couple more people popped in. We've got Avid Book Junkies here. Thanks for being here, my friend. And Alex is here. Well, now you're here, so that's good.
Thank you so much.
John said the key to going viral is to be as unhinged as possible. That works for John.
I'm never going viral.
I don't think we have unhinged in us.
You know what? I think it's because I am not the young anymore. I don't have the energy on the mental bandwidth to try and create drama or
Right.
to, and also because I made a specific decision to talk about only about books that I enjoyed, because I allowed myself the leeway to DNF everything that I don't enjoy. So
Mm-hmm.
if I finish a book implicitly, it is because I enjoyed it and I feel free to talk about it in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
I know that hate content it's better for the
Right.
algorithm.
Right. Yeah.
So if I had the desire and the energy to go online ranting about that book that I didn't finish because it wasn't written the way I wanted it to be, yeah, I don't have the energy, and my attitude towards the way I read books has changed during the years because I
Right.
was much more prickly a couple of years ago, let's say around 5 or 6 years ago. And I have a hot take about this. I'll say something a little bit controversial now, but just a
Okay.
little bit, okay?
Okay. I like it. I like it.
So everyone can review whatever they want, and if they
Mm-hmm.
want to review a book that they didn't finish, they can do that, of course. There can be an argument about the fact that you call that a review,
Mm-hmm.
because that's semantics.
Right.
It's because I'm picky that way. Okay, you
Yeah.
can give your opinion about something that you didn't finish.
Yeah.
You can do that,
Yeah.
but the moment you start feeling that kind of guttural, that really deep rage and raging about the book and shouting and being extremely shouting basically, that I don't
Right.
like, it's because somehow you internalized something and you're trying to prove something about yourself as a writer, even if you're not a writer,
Mm-hmm.
kind of implying that you're able to do it better.
Right.
Because
Right.
there are many ways to say that you didn't enjoy something,
Right.
still being respectful. You don't have
Yes.
exactly to pamper the author if you
Right.
didn't like
Yeah.
what you wrote, but you don't have to be bad.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be hurtful when you give your
Yeah.
review. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that kind of content will make me grow so
Right.
much
Right.
faster.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm simply not that kind of person, and I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that kind of channels.
Yep. Yep. I'm the
It's
same
just
way. I think if you don't, especially if you don't finish something, you can mention it in a wrap up and say why, but you shouldn't probably shouldn't do a whole review on something you didn't
Mhm.
finish.
Yeah, and
And
that goes hand in
yeah,
hand with the idea of
yeah,
giving stars and,
yeah,
and numbers.
right,
I have to do it because I
mhm,
use Goodreads and I use
right,
Amazon and I was a judge for the SPFBO.
yeah.
I have to do it, but I really don't like it. So yeah, I
I know.
understand and
Yeah.
accept everything, but
Hmm.
I am really selective about the people that I follow on
Right.
booktube because I don't want to, and I am too much of an empathetic person, and it
Hmm.
ruins my day.
Yeah.
Okay, even if I
Yeah. Yeah.
understand why that book doesn't
Right.
work.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I mean, we all need more positivity, right? There's enough negativity we can find on our own.
Yeah,
We don't need to
yeah,
find it
it's
on
not for me.
things we
Maybe when
enjoy.
I was younger, but not
Right.
now.
Yeah. Right. True. 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 We got a couple more people in here. So let's see. Will is popped in. What's up, Will? He's heading to a live stream with Nerd Level Rising soon. So thanks for stopping in to say hi. We appreciate it.
So much.
And Josh are already overbooked. Just wanted to pop in to say congrats to you. So
Thank
a
you.
lot of
Thank you
love
so much.
for you, my friend. It's pretty awesome. All right, so first off, so there's kind of two tracks I want to go on during this interview that I'm very curious about. Oh, and Molly McCobb just popped in. What's up, Molly? So
Just let me say something
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if I think that is a pseudonym, but it is an
yeah.
incredible
It is.
pseudonym.
Yeah, yeah. It's awesome,
It's
isn't it?
incredible.
Yeah. Yep. And
It
she
can
is.
become some kind of a logo on your books because it
Yes,
sounds
yes.
so good.
It sounds good, doesn't it? It
Kudos to you,
flows nice.
whoever
Yeah.
decided. That's
Yes, yes.
incredible.
She is pretty awesome too. So yeah, that's an awesome and she's a horror writer, so that's great for that genre, It's awesome. So the two tracks I want to eventually go down is your journey kind of with reading and to booktube and your journey to the book. So I think because we just did the cover reel I want to start with the book. So tell me about your writing journey. It's a long journey because we were talking before we popped on, and you have probably a bigger writing journey than some people realize. So just tell me about from the beginning, like when did writing become something you really got into and wanted to do? And then, I mean, you've got a lot to say, so let's hear all about your journey, man.
I'll try to make it manageable because it's really, really long.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not the kind of author that had that really really nice and really cozy idea. I wanted to be a writer when I was 6 years old. And I was writing on the walls because I had that fire inside me. No, no, I was a reader, absolutely, since a very young age. But the idea of being a writer, I was really negatively influenced by my culture. In the place that I live, I'm in Italy. I'm in in an island. It's not small by any means, but the idea that you can be a writer and selling books and do money with books, make money. I still have to explain people how it works today in 2025 here in Sicily. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's better. It's getting better all around Italy. But for example, we don't have a university that teach in any way that kind of process. You can become a teacher of literature in Italy, but nothing aside the private courses to try and become a writer. So I started to, I remember that I just wrote a really small, a couple of chapters because I didn't know how to go on to finish it when I was around 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
It was an interesting concept about Mars, about robots and all the rest. But I wasn't able to, and I didn't have the ability to focus that much. And it finished there. Then I started actually writing when I was almost 35 years old. I was just an adult. And it was because I was going through a very difficult stretch of years. I have lost my job. I went to a really bad breakup. I was incredibly depressed. I had a bunch of time in between jobs. And then I was moving to the other side of Sicily. And as I told you, it's a pretty big island. So it was a long journey. So writing was a really good way to try and deal with all the things that I was going through. And just by chance, a friend of mine mentioned Wattpad, the platform. It's a social reading platform when you post chapters of your books in an episodic way. Kind of Royal Road, but Royal Road came after.
Okay. Yep.
And I had, in the same time, and there was all bubbling in my mind, an idea that I had, because I realized that my mind works that way. It's always been working towards ideas and towards stories, but I never had the chance and the ability and the right environment to make those stories something concrete, something tangible. Because I am a painter and an artist, and I work in graphic design. So my creative outlet was towards drawing and painting, and not towards the I myself never considered writing as a way to express myself. So I gave it a try, trying to put together all the ideas that I had for characters for that story, and to try and write a couple of chapters, the first 5 or 6 chapters of that story. And at the same time, in a couple of weeks, I started to explore that platform because being in graphic design, working in commercials, my mind always tried to find a way to make everything that I imagine and to turn it in something a little bit more tangible. So I have always thought about my stories as something that I could turn into something real, in a product, in a way. It's an awful word, but something that you can touch and you can use in a way.
Yeah, no.
I said, let's try this platform. let's try to publish those bunch of chapters that I had, and I had no clear end inside. I didn't know how to develop the story, how to make it work, how to get to an end. And it blew up in a week. It got
Wow.
straight to the top
That's
for the
awesome.
science fiction category. It was a
Mhm.
dystopian novel. And luckily, at the same time, I was studying Sumerian mythology and ancient history and all the rest. So it gave me a nice backup to create a really nice world building, kind
Mhm.
of an alternate history. Yeah, I kept writing because I had an immediate feedback of people going crazy for that story.
Yeah.
And each and every time I was publishing a chapter, they were commenting, they were going feedback, and given the fact that I started writing that story when I was actually an adult with
Yeah.
critical abilities and the desire to do better,
Yeah.
my writing style improved really, really fast.
That's good.
And yeah, I finished that first novel on the platform. I wanted the prize. It's one of the most renowned prizes online. The award, they call it What Is. In 2016, it was, and I won again in 2017, and I kept going really well. And I decided, in the meantime, I had published 3 novels on that platform, and I decided to try and publish it in other ways, in a physical book.
Yeah.
I had a really short experience with traditional publishing. It didn't want to go well. I repackaged everything with self-publishing a year later. And I published 9 books. 3 of those are bestseller in Italy.
That's
I'm
awesome.
finishing the last one, which is actually book 3 of the third book in the same series of the Crimson Sapphire in Italy. The
Oh,
third one will
okay.
be published in 2025.
Okay.
And I'll
Nice.
finish my journey. And my camera froze.
It did. It did. It did.
Let me try and connect it again in a moment.
Oh,
I
no
knew it was
problem.
going to happen.
Hey, it's very chill here. We have no
Okay.
problems with that. You take your time.
Okay, just a moment. Just a moment. Let me reload the page. Can I reload the page, or is it going to break the screen? No.
I think the stream will keep going as long as I don't reload it. It might, if you get disconnected, we'll just put you back in when you get back.
Okay, just a moment.
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment.
All right, sounds good. All right, people. Well, while we're waiting for Abel to come back, if anybody didn't see my question of the day today, throw your answer in the chat. But my question of the day was, if you could be any kind of inspector, lawman, someone who investigates things, stuff like that, or tracks down bad people in a fantasy world, which of these would you choose? An inquisitor, a ranger, they're called a thief taker, so kind of like a mercenary sellsword, but someone who gets hired to track down people, or something else, an other, something that you think of that I didn't. But Abel's back now, so throw in the chat if you want. What should be Batman? Yeah, that's a good choice there, Tim. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, hey, don't say sorry at all. If it happens, it happens. It's no big deal. I actually, before we get back to what you're talking about, I just asked everyone in the chat my question of the day to throw in their answers. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. So every day I do a question of the day in my community poll that people can vote on. So my question today was, if you could be any type of character in fantasy that involves like solving a mystery or tracking down a bad guy, a villain, would you want to be an inquisitor, a ranger, a like a mercenary, thief taker, sellsword that gets hired to do it, or something else that I didn't think of? What would you want to do?
Ideally, I like to think that I would go for a ranger.
Yeah,
because they sound so and they look so awesome. That's the kind of ideal. But to be honest, I'd probably be an inquisitor. To be completely honest, because that's the kind of attitude that I have. my idea of what it's good and right, it's really old style.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have some kind of deeply rooted connection with everything that makes that the specific world building of that story
Oh yeah.
hateful for many people. So I think that being an old grump will make me an inquisitor, probably much more than a ranger. And I don't have the body to be a ranger, so yeah, probably an inquisitor. That's a nice question.
That's good. Yeah. It was a fun one for me to think of. So, I will let everyone know my answer tonight. I'll do a short tonight to let you know what I think, and we'll let you know what won the poll. But yeah, we got some good things in here. Tim had said Batman. That's true. You could just be Batman. A sneaky rogue, Molly said. I like that. A copper. There we go. Ranger. Yep. I think Ranger would be. It does sound very cool, being in nature. But yeah, I don't have the conditioning for that either. But, Will said, Abel, you'd be working for Glockta. There we go.
I have to admit, I have always been hesitant to touch anything about Abercrombie.
Oh, really?
Because I have, the only grim dark book that I have ever enjoyed is a strange word. Is the first book in the first trilogy by Mark Lawrence.
Oh, okay. Prince of Thorns.
Prince of Thorns. It has a different title in Italy, so that's a little bit difficult to remember. I say it was difficult for me to enjoy because it's a pretty hard book. It's a really grim, dark. And I read it when I was relatively young.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult to me to go through that story because I am not oriented towards that kind of darkness. But the writing style was so amazing that it kept me glued to the pages.
Yeah.
Because I usually have a really dark time connecting with characters that are so incredibly different from me.
Yeah.
So that's why grimdark in general it's really it's a hard pill to swallow for me.
Yes.
But I will eventually get there because I just have to try something from Abercrombie because everybody said it's so good.
I've read Prince of Thorns and I liked it a lot, but I think you would like First Law. I mean, I'm biased. First Law is my favorite series ever, but I think there's a lot more humor in it, and there is a lot of actual hope in it. It is a darker world, and the characters are gray, and is that sometimes they do bad things for the right reasons, or things like that. But there's a lot of humor in it, and it's instead of being first person like Prince of Thorns, where you're just stuck in that one character's head, it's multi POV, and you have there's varying shades of gray. You have some that are pretty good. And then you have some that are pretty rough, but because of the humor and the layer of hope that's always there, they're actually really enjoyable to still follow. So I think you'd like it.
I think you'd like it because I like character-driven stories, and they say that.
Oh, it's very.
I've been documenting myself. Trying to read that. I have seen many reviews because it's extremely popular, of course, of people that say it doesn't has a plot. It doesn't has a proper progression in the story. It's meandering. You know what? I like it.
I know. Yeah.
I like slow burns. I like meandering stories. I like stories that are centered around people sitting around a table and talking.
Right.
That's really appealing for me. I think I have to be in the right mindset to tackle that kind of dark of a story.
Yeah.
But
I would say it's
broadening my taste on that regard too.
I would say it's less dark than Prince of Thorns. So
I know. I know. I started with the very very darkest possible, and I never finished the trilogy. I read just the first one because
I've only read the first one.
Me for life.
But it was good. You're right. It was dark, but I did like his writing a lot in that. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, I didn't finish my story anyway, and you just need the last part because I'm afraid I will forget a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were talking before the camera went off. You were talking about how you had got onto your stories on the platform. They went crazy.
Yeah.
You had some bestsellers, and then
Yeah.
you had just talked about how the third book in that it was the same as in the Crimson Fire.
Yeah, in the Memories of Kenjir trilogy.
Yep.
And I'm training myself to say it fluently because in Italian it sounds a little bit different.
That sounds good the way you said it.
Yeah, thank you. And the trilogy is ending in 2025 with the last book. It's the longest in the trilogy. Yeah, it will be a lot of work to do the translations and the Italians. And also I am, because I hate myself, I am translating books from English to Italian, like The Way of a Dam by Philip Chase. So it will be a really hard year for me. But I was saying that I get to a point in Italy where I was popular enough, I was doing really well, but we don't have in Italy what we have in international market about the community. So the book Twitter, book X, how do you call it? I don't know. We have in the international market for people speaking and reading in English, it doesn't exist in Italy. So it is really difficult to connect with other readers and with other authors. Generally, you really don't have that. If you have adult writers that are self-published, they really published thrillers, crime, and female adult writers, they publish romances. 99% of them. So it was really difficult for me to connect with other people and potential readers. My platform was Instagram. Instagram has it's a dying platform with a really specific kind of audience. I was really lucky to sold so many books in Italy and to have a consistent audience, but I knew I wasn't not going to be able to grow in any meaningful way. And I was investing too much time and effort in that market that wasn't going nowhere. So I decided, you know what, let's finish this series, the third one. And my idea was to try and publish in Italian, in English, just after finishing and completing the third book in that series, that fantasy series that now we have almost ready in English. But I knew it would have took me years to get there.
Right.
And I didn't want to wait because I'm having too much fun with the audience, with other authors and readers and the people that follow me on booktube. So I said, you know, I am much more of a better writer than a speaker in English. I can write pretty well, and I have the connections that I need to hire really good editors and proofreaders and to smooth out everything that it's beyond my what can I reach, because of course that's not my main language. There are things that I will never get because my mind works in a different way, because languages, they influence the way you think. If you have seen Arrival, the movie, you understand what I'm talking about. Every language shapes the way your mind works.
Right.
So, but I know I could do it. And by reading novels in English for the last 11 years, I am at the point when I realize when something has been written in English poorly. And I was saying, you know what? I can kind of do a little bit better than that. So if that got published, I can probably get there and do a respectable job with an interesting story. So let's give it a try. And I decided to scale back my presence in the Italian market, to spend less and less time there and trying to expand. And that's when I decided to jump on the booktube adventure and to stay a little bit more on X, because that account on X is really old. It's around, I think I did it around 2012. It's barely opened the app, launched the app. So, and it's been the best decision I have ever did. And the fact that we are discussing about it, it was the right call.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we are. And the novel, it's really close.
It is.
I'm really happy.
April 29th, right?
Yeah, April 29, and ARC copies are going to be sent in 31st, the last
Okay.
day of January, basically.
Nice. Okay.
We'll have ARC copies. I'm hard working on the line editing
Okay.
side of the book. I think I'll get it in an almost finished way. It will be signed as a unreviewed copy,
Okay.
but it
Yeah.
will be a really polished unreviewed copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Hey, nice.
yeah, I'm pretty eager to see what people think about it.
Yes. Yes. I'm jumping in that arc list. I definitely want to check it out. And for anybody in the chat or anybody watching this on replay, I'll have all that in the description down below. All the info, pre-order link, everything. So check that out. So yeah, this is exciting, man. That's so cool. I kind of knew that you had some stuff in Italy, but I didn't realize how big it had gotten. That's really awesome. And I feel like that's like a testament to you being willing to kind of walk away from that to go after another dream, a bigger dream on another adventure. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that there are moments in your life when you have to decide if what it is familiar for you, what it is easy for you,
Right.
is the right thing to do and keep doing.
Yeah.
And I got to a point there when I had my audience, I had my followers, I had my fans, and I had really a lot of people really generous and really helpful with my beta readers and proofreaders are all people that have been following me from that first experience on that platform, on that digital platform. So, and I think I was a good influence on many people there and on the community too. Because I did one of those tests of personality tests when you have ENTJ, and it says that I am that it was spot on. I am a supporter generally. I'm enthusiastic about people going in with their desire to share arts, their love for literature or painting on anything. And I want to know what they're doing, and I want to know if I can help. And I did that for many years in Italy. But I got, in exchange, really little, really little from a really small amount of people. They were extraordinary. But in 1 year and a half, in this community, in the English one, I got so much more.
Right.
So it was difficult to kind of walk away and close that journey because I got comfortable there. I knew how to work it. I was the first independently published person in Italy to have an art cover ever, because nobody knew what Ingram Spark was in Italy.
Right. Okay.
I was the first one to have, and thank you. I know she's not listening to this interview. She'll probably never listen to Jenna Moresi, which is a writer of dark fantasy. She has a channel when she does tutorials and help people to understand how to do. And she taught me how to do a press kit, the same press kit that you said.
Yeah, your press kit is very, very. I can't think of the right word. Impressive. That's what I was looking for. It's very impressive. I was impressed.
So I did a lot of work to try and to teach and help people how to do advertising for their book, ARC copies, cover reveals, press kits, media kits, how to curate their profile on Instagram to go to do the author journey properly. I did a lot of works, and I've seen a lot of this positive influence reflect on other authors that did that in the same way or even better, because they saw it could have been done, and even better than many traditionally published book, because we have this tradition in Italy when the book gets tossed in the library and then it dies there. If you find it, you find it, and that's it. So it was good, and I had a good experience. But even if I sold thousands and thousands of books, I knew it was too small of an audience and too small of a market, and that my brain was trained to enjoy and write stories that was not suited exactly for this market.
Right.
You can be really popular in Italy if you come from the US, and if you're famous, and if you're Brandon Sanders, and if you're Joe, not even Joe Abercrombie is popular in Italy.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
how picky of a market it is.
Right.
I said, you're wasting your time. Your mind doesn't work well with this with this market.
Yeah.
Let's go to the original place when you want to be. I want to be in contact with this kind of people, with this market,
Right.
and with this
Mhm.
environment. And I did it. I jumped in. My first experience with booktube that were hand in hand with this experience were really bad. My first 5, 6, 10 videos were absolutely ugly, but people they kept watching incredibly. So yeah, and here we are. And I'm really I can't believe that my cover reveal went viral on Twitter, that it got trending, that the AI, that Grok says, look at what's happening there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really happy about it.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. So before we switch gears and talk about a little bit about you starting the booktube channel, I do want to talk about the cover. So you did a lot of the work on the cover yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So this cover is different than the Italian cover, right?
Yeah, it's completely different.
So how did the cover creation for this go for you? How did that experience go?
Yeah, I need to take a little bit of a step back to get there, because the version that you're going to read, the English version of that novel, it's quite different from the Italian.
Okay.
So what I did is that I was going to publish basically the same novel.
Yeah.
Just adapted. It was not exactly translated. I could be here days and days to try and explain the process of adapting a novel from another language, because English is so different from Italian, that there are basically many things that you cannot translate, and you have to dance around. And you have to rewire your brain to try and think and speak and write in English. So it's really difficult.
That sounds difficult, yeah.
Yeah, but I say I'm lucky because I like the language. I like English. I like how it sounds. I like how words come out of your mouth. So I enjoy it, even if it's so difficult for me. Okay? Yeah. So I got in contact with an editor, and she said, the novel works, and it was actually my best-selling novel in Italy, so I was pretty sure it worked.
Oh, yeah.
But there are two things. And you have to, if you can, she was really nice. One of the main characters she doesn't take enough meaningful decisions. She looks really passive.
Okay.
And I don't know if the US international audience will gel with her because of that.
Okay.
But I didn't want to change the characters.
Right.
I wanted to, maybe expand it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I went back and I wrote a bunch of introductory chapters for all the point of view. We have 4 point of views in the novel.
Nice. Okay.
And so I gave her a little bit more space to explain herself, to introduce herself to the audience. And that changed the length, to make the novel much longer. The original one in Italian is 70,000 words long. This one is around 100,022. So it's much longer because of that introductory part. So when I got here, and when I adapted and enlarged it, I published the additional side of the novel in a separate novel in Italy, because I didn't want to leave my audience back, and gave them the idea that we had a better edition in English and a worse one in Italian. So everybody's on the same level now. But I got there, and that took me to the need to have a different cover, because it didn't match anymore with the actual vibe of the book, because that introductory part is a little bit darker, it's a little bit more violent, because there are things happening that explain how all the characters got to the point where the novel started in the original version.
Right. Yeah.
And it didn't match anymore with the cover that I had. And I knew that, as I said in my video yesterday, that the US market is headed in a different edition, in a different direction. For covers, they have different. You have different tastes compared to European people, because the Italian edition had a really. It was based on typography. There was no illustration and nothing, just the title and a really nice frame, a golden frame.
Yeah.
It worked for my market, but I know that it didn't work. It would not work for the English one. So I went through different kind of iterations. And I said that I'm really lucky because I know that I had the skills to do it myself and to do a good job.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I wanted to do it myself. I wanted the cover to be mine, to have my signature, to have a graphic direction, an art direction that could represent me. That's because I am a self-publisher, because I want to do it all myself. Select people that work with me. So my idea was, you can actually act. I could act as I did when I was in advertisement, being an art director. So you assemble all the various pieces and make them work together in a very cohesive way. So I went scouring all around on stock photo images and places when you can license an image, searching for illustration, fantasy illustration, and I found an artist that does really nice, this kind of conceptual art that kind of look like watercolors, and at the same time it's pretty clearly digital.
Right.
And I bought the background, that illustration, that landscape that you have on the back of the cover, which is really nice. And it was in full color. It was completely different. The impact. It was really nice. And I had that illustration and a bunch of others that I used to try and check and to see what it worked on my computer for many years. So the license is really old. And I did many tries. I tried to shop them around with my beta readers, asking them, what do you think? What is the one that you prefer? And until a couple of weeks ago, before the cover reveal, before I started people to ask help for the cover reveal, I landed on a completely different one. With another illustration, with a completely different typography. It was really nice, and I will probably use it for another novel if it fits with the story.
Yeah, right.
But then I had while I was doing line editing, I got to the scene that you have on the cover now.
Okay.
So this is the villain with this huge stuff and looking at the horizon with the red moon, which is really atmospheric. And I said, I need to use this scene for the cover. I need this one. And I need a way to properly represent it. And I did something that I was able to do just because I'm a self-publisher and I'm a graphic designer and I have total control. I rewrote pieces of the scene to make it match with the cover.
Ooh, okay.
And nice. I did this. I used that background. I made it black and white. Then I decided the main character, that one, and this villain, and I created the shape of the moon, and I adapted the design of the landscape to make it kind of 3D, because you see there are pieces of the architecture that are in front of the moon, of the red moon. It wasn't that way. There was no moon in the illustration. Okay. So I placed it all together. I spent a lot of time designing the typography and my name, and you actually have a completely different design for my name on the spine, because my name, Abel Montero, on the spine is kind of a logo. But I did that before to get to this iteration of the cover, so I didn't fit on the front cover. It's only on the spine now.
Got it.
Yeah, when it was almost finished, when I was just a few days of work, close to finishing and tweaking, I was looking and looking and looking and said, this is the right one. This is going to be good. This is going to be good, really good. People are going to love it. because it is reminiscent of the Stormlight Archives cover, of something
Oh yeah.
from the Shadow of What Was Lost by Eilinton, something from Django Rexler, something from other authors. I said, this one is going to work because it has focus on the typography.
Yep.
UK people really love typography and conceptual covers. US people really love illustration and characters on the main covers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the right one. And
Yeah,
that's the one I landed on, and I'm really proud about it.
Yeah, you should be. People love it. In the comments here, we've got Molly was just saying the cover is beautiful. Avid Book Junkie
I said
agrees.
she's a woman of culture.
Yeah. And Molly is impressed with your talent with the graphic design. I am as well. So yeah, it's awesome, man. And we had a couple more friends pop in too. We've got Timothy Wolf here. Hello, Timothy. Thanks for coming, my friend. And Christopher Navos here. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Appreciate Chris, that's another incredible human being. One of my favorite booktube channel, and I know he's not been around so much because he's writing his own novel. But please give us something more.
Yes, I know. He said he's going to start making some more content, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
he's a good one.
I'm holding him accountable for that.
That's right. We're going to hold him to it. All right. So the cover is awesome. The book is going to be awesome. We're excited about it. I do want to know a little bit about, so when did you decide to start BookTube? We talked a little bit about off screen before about some of the ones that you found early on and how there wasn't anything really like this in Italy. So first of all, when did you find it? And then when did you kind of think, well, I should start one too? Like, how did that whole process go for you?
Okay, there are something are pretty casual. Something are, I think there's been something on a higher level guiding things to place me in the right
destiny.
Yeah, let's say that I've been an avid follower of many booktube channels for many years. And that happens at the same time when I was trying and publishing on that digital platform and gaining some kind of popularity, because I wanted to be in touch with the market, even if a small amount of what you have in the US comes to Italy.
Yeah.
But I was good with English, so I was already reading in English.
Yeah.
But the fact is that many of those channels, and then I don't know if all of you following this remember, but BookTube was really different a couple of years ago. Really, really different. We didn't have Daniel Green. We didn't have Mike read books and books reviews. We didn't have Andrew Watson. We didn't have you. You didn't have me. So 99% of the booktubers, they were really young. And of course, they were reading different things. They were reading young adult stuff, dystopians, and a little bit of fantasy. And some of them, slowly, by growing up, they decided to go towards different kind of fantasies. And I was really a really early adopter of Daniel Green when he was reading the Wheel of Time. I didn't know the Wheel of Time existed before I knew that channel.
Right.
Even if I've been reading all of my life, mainly science fiction and then fantasy too. So I followed a lot of channels. They were really nice people, really engaging, really funny. And I started buying books that they suggested, mainly young adult books, many of them really romantic. And a few of them has stick the landing for me too, and I still hold them dear with me. And I think that the hate we have for that kind of young adult literature is a little bit unwarranted, because we have really strong novels there too.
Oh yeah.
I still think that Six of Crows of Crooked Kingdom are one of the best novels ever written, period. They're incredible. They're amazing. If you say they're not, you're wrong, and you know you're wrong. And I love you all the same, but I love you because you're wrong.
Right.
But so I started to need something different. So I had a little bit of a pause, looking a little less and less. But luckily, it was the same couple of months or years, let's say, where channels like Daniel or Mike or who's the guy? Philip Chase, of course. I love Philip. They were popping up. They started to gain traction, and they started to talk about adult fantasy and science fiction books. And I watched them, and I said, "Why don't we have something like that in Italy? We don't have anything like that." Because we had booktubers, but they were, of course, really young and reading something really different. And I said to myself at the same time when I was walking away from my original market in Italy, you know what? You need something to connect with people like you had on Instagram many years ago when Instagram worked. And if you want to keep in touch with the adult audience, you have to find them when they are. So I decided to stay a little bit more on X, to try and interact a little bit more in X. I walked away from Facebook too because there's nothing there anymore. And I told myself, can you do something interesting on YouTube? Are you able to do something interesting? What are you going to say? Is there a point of view, a perspective that many others don't have? And I told myself, you know what? It needs to be a place. We need a place for indie published, mainly for those, because many of those channels that I love, they give space, like Philip and others, and Chris, the fictional escapist, and the another one. I will remember when I stop thinking about it. I will mention them. And I wanted to have a channel focused on indie books, with a little bit of space for traditionally published. So to reverse the dynamics, because most of them, they have space for traditional and a little bit of space for indies. And for Ryan Cahill, Ryan.
He's his own thing, right?
That I love. And I have to say, I know Ryan. I've been in contact with Ryan for many years, many years, when nobody knew him. And I was one of the first people to contact him and to say, I want to read that book. And I've read that arc before anybody else.
That's awesome.
I love him, and he's an amazing person. But the balance, the scale is that way. You don't have that much space for indie and for science fiction and fantasy indie books. And I wanted to do it my way and with my timing, which is slow, really slow. I cannot publish videos every week. I cannot publish video more than once a week. So I said, how can you do it? Do you have the equipment? I had a really crappy webcam. I had an incredibly bad microphone. And I didn't have the software. I didn't want to cash out the money for a software, for anything in software. And one day, Microsoft decided to release Clipchamp. And I said, you have no excuses anymore. So I tried. It was September of 2024. 2023. It was September. There was this channel called SFF 180 that deals only on science fiction. He's an incredible connoisseur and a scholar of science fiction. And the Shades of Oranges, another channel for science fiction, they were holding this readathon for the Space Opera September, because that's what I love to read, space opera and epic fantasy. And I said, this is a good occasion. This is a good chance to try and talk about indie books and to try and read more about the genre that I love so much. And I did that. That video is still online. It is really bad, but it gave me...
I'm watching it after this.
But please don't. But it gave me the confidence to say, okay, this is the bare minimum. You can do it a little bit better. And of course, I was really afraid. If you listen to me speaking in English in that video, it's not that good, my English now. It was even worse there. And I said, I'll keep getting better. If I get the chance to practice, I'll get better. On the editing side, on the content, and by speaking, I'll get better. And I actually did. And I have to say, I'm really happy that every time I have the chance to chat with someone about the channel, about my readings, they say that you have a channel where I find things that I cannot find anywhere else. It is pretty unique because of the way it is organized, the
I agree.
contents,
Yep.
and because of the things that I mentioned on my channel. And that's exactly what I wanted. The feeling that I have when I have authors that are pushing and pushing and try to
Yeah.
get a little bit of visibility, a little
Mhm.
bit of a name,
Yeah.
and to be recognized for their hard work.
Mhm.
And I mention them, and I spend a little bit of time talking about their books,
Yeah.
and I see them in the comments getting in contact when they
Yeah.
say, "Oh no, I like your book," and the other ones, "I
Yeah.
like your cover. I seen your book here for the
Yeah.
first time," and then they chat on Twitter and on Instagram, and then
Yeah.
they do connection on my comment section. When I see that, I say, "I'm doing something good. I'm
Yes. You're
doing
like, you
something
did it.
right.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I wanted to do." And
Yep.
it's working. It's working
Yep.
slowly, really
Yep.
slowly, because the channel is growing
Yep.
really slowly. But what I'm doing here right now is good, and I
Yep.
have to keep doing. If I'm very tired and I have a very small amount of time and bandwidth to do it,
Yep.
I have to keep doing it, and that
Yep.
gives me the strength to keep doing it, even if it is
Yep.
that hard. Because shooting, editing, and
Oh
posting,
yeah.
and the info box. I hate
Yeah.
the info box on YouTube and all those videos and the links and the
Yes.
chapters.
Yes. I agree.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And staying on Twitter, because when I publish,
Yeah.
upload a video, I have to stay on Twitter and retweet and connect. For me, it's really late usually
Yeah.
in Italy when I have to publish,
Mhm.
because I try to publish it in a favorable timing for the US
Yep.
market.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when I wake up the day after and I see the interaction and I see the views and the comments, I see I did something good for those people.
Yep.
And I mentioned good that I enjoy, that I'm going to like.
Yep.
So it's a good circle for everybody.
Yep. I agree.
And this kind of discussion that we have now, it's a proof that it is working.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep.
that I'm doing something right.
That's right, man. Yep. Exactly. You inspired me to start this, and you inspired me to reach out to you to have you on here, because I mean, just
Thank you.
anybody I talk to, and when I put out that I was going to have you on, I just get flooded with comments with, "Oh, Abel's awesome. I can't wait to see him on there," or "I'm so excited for him. He's such a great guy." I
And
mean,
you know what?
you are universally loved, my friend.
Thank you. It's a nice feeling, and I hope it is truth. Actually, I had my fair share of haters,
Oh yeah, there's
especially
always
after I
somebody.
started crossing 1,000 views for the
Oh yeah,
first time I crossed, because you get casual viewers
you
too,
get yeah.
when you had that.
Mhm.
But I heavily monitor my comments, and
Mhm.
if someone says something nasty, really nasty, I simply take it down.
Yeah.
But kudos to you, because live interviews like this
Mhm.
are really difficult to do on YouTube,
Yeah.
to make them engaging and to make them work for the public, because
Mhm.
the algorithm is really nasty and
Oh
really
yeah.
bad, really don't like when you do content and
Right.
lives.
Yeah.
They want you to do content,
Right.
videos,
just
or lives. So the
Yep.
fact that you're able to make it work doing
Mhm.
both, it means that you kind of cracked the code. What you have been doing is really good, because I tried to make interviews, and all of those videos, they tanked really hard because YouTube didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will do live interviews, of course, in
Mhm.
the future. If I can match the timing, because it's really difficult to match the timing
Oh
for
yeah.
me that I'm on the other side of the world. But the fact that you're doing this way, it means you're way smarter than I am.
I don't know about that.
Kudos
I've
to
been
you.
just in awe listening to you talk about your process and everything. I don't know if I'm smarter than you, but I'm glad that it's working. So you should definitely do it, because I would love to watch you do all the interviews, my friend.
Yeah, I have just two on my channel, and I tried to make them work organically with the kind of content that I have. But yeah, I have to work on it, because I have a bunch of other authors that I really want to have. That's egoistically, selfishly, a really good way to be in contact with people that I like. So
Right.
I want to have them on my channel. But I have to
Yes.
work a way that makes it, because if I steal time from that people and then I
Right.
have only 50 views,
Right.
it made me feel bad, because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm happy because I got the chance to chat with them, but
Yep.
I didn't do anything good for them,
Right.
and they could have spent that hour and a half writing another chapter of their books.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to find a way to make it work better,
Right.
but it
But
is on
you
my
also
card.
got to change your thinking there a little, because 50 people to us, we think, oh, that wasn't worth their time. But for an
I
author that
know.
maybe is trying to get any
Uh-huh.
kind of spotlight, even if one person sees that and
Yeah,
buys their
you're
book,
right.
you know?
Your perspective change. That's the worst part of being on YouTube, because
Yep.
once
Yep.
you get used to 200 views,
Yep.
everything less seems bad. Once
You
you get
see,
used to
yeah. Yeah.
500,
Yeah.
everything less
Then you
seems
think,
bad.
it's got to hit
When I
that. Yep.
cracked
I'm the same.
1,000, and I see,
Right.
this is not going to do 1,000.
Yeah.
What did I do
Yeah.
wrong?
Right. I know. I'm the same way. Yep. That threshold keeps getting higher and higher. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I
Mhm.
agree.
It's good
We
to
had
try
some
and keep it in
more
check.
people pop. Yeah, exactly. Pop in the comments. David Badarina is here. That's right. I'll take that. He is an awesome author and booktuber as well. Molly, there is a lot of awesome YouTubers in here right now that are here
Yeah.
to support you, my friend. So
Yeah, do it,
and then,
Molly. We'll follow.
yeah,
Start the
and I'm
channel.
saying, like, people are saying, Molly, you should start your own channel. And I think
Absolutely.
she should. And Grimfell is here, an awesome musician. Thanks for being here, man. And we do have some pretty nice looking beards. Look at that. Looking good. Oh, man. Let's see. And I think that was the only peeps that popped in. And yes, Alex, YouTube is work, but so is writing a book. And you wrote an awesome
Yeah.
book. So, it is, but you eventually, it's still a lot of work, but you get used to it, and it becomes like all those annoying little things become just part of the process. Like, okay, I got to
But
put a
also,
video out.
it is
I got to fill out
different
all
from
this stuff.
other platform, I think, because
Right.
yeah, the algorithm wants you to publish often, a lot of stuff, and they try to put you on a kind of on rails, doing always the same thing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
same length. But it is also flexible enough that if you have just a small amount of time that you can invest there, like me,
Yeah.
you can publish twice a month.
Yeah.
When I started, I published
Uh-oh.
every 3 weeks even.
There.
There is higher discoverability. People are going to find you, and if you find that people are going to stick with you because they like you and they know your rhythm. So it's a lot of work, but if you can do it just once a month, those people are going to stick with you because they know you're going to publish once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to do more, they're going to adapt.
Yeah.
But of course, if you stay away for 6 months, they're going to lose interest.
Yeah.
But it's a platform that gives you the liberty to do whatever you want, and if you do it in a considerate way.
Yeah.
Because I got better with the lighting, I got better with the editing, with the sound, and with the the graphics on there. If you try and improve a little bit, time by time, the platform works with you with the discoverability. It doesn't work that way on Instagram anymore, for example, or it doesn't work. It never worked that way on TikTok, because I tried a little bit to use it. So if any one of you in the chat right now or watching this video in the replay are thinking about trying, just try, because it is of course you kind of have to be smart a little bit about how you present the information. And but go and do your things. If you're passionate about what you talk, people will notice. Absolutely.
They
will follow.
I agree. Just wanted to shout out Lucas. Thanks for being here. And we have another special guest that just popped in, Mrs. Janny Wirtz. She wanted to pop in to say congrats. I knew you'd like. I had to show you that.
I can't believe it. This woman completely destroyed me. Janny, I love you and I hate you. Because she rewired my brain. I just finished reading The Curse of the Mistral. It took me months, and it's been a transformative experience, and I loved it so much. And I'm telling you, it took me 2 weeks to read anything else because I was
Right.
destroyed
Yeah.
after the end of that book, because
She
it
said
was
she did
that
her job.
intense of an experience. Ooh, really, really. And I will have a review in my next video. It will be
Nice.
really long and really difficult to shoot because of, you know what? Life is strange, because when you read a good amount of fantasy literature, you get to a point when everything looks like the same,
Right.
and you accept it because it's part of the way it works. There are
Yep.
comfort reads, and you expect some kind of amount of tropes and writing
Yep.
styles and things, how they work. And the fact that you lost that kind of spark goes hand in hand with the fact that you are growing up.
Yep.
So I was pretty sure that I had seen everything. Even if I meet a new author, I was pretty sure we were going to give them a little spin on a genre, but that I knew what I was going to find. And stupidly, I thought there was the same thing with Johnny Words. What can she do so different from all
Right.
do so different from all the others, you know? But she actually did it in a completely different way. She blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was a difficult book for me to read because it is a pretty high bar on the writing
Right.
style.
Yep.
It's pretty complex. It's really
Mm-hmm.
refined. It's really elegant. It's really
Yep.
researched. And I had to learn a lot of words that I didn't know because of the writing style. But it was an experience. It was not like reading a book. It was like living another life. In the chat, if you're watching this video later, if you haven't paid any kind of attention to Johnny Words, you're wasting your time, because and everybody said this is the first book is the weaker one of the series. I cannot imagine how good they become in the rest. So thank you, Johnny, for ruining my life.
Yeah, right.
And everybody go and give it a try.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, I'm about halfway through it, and it's awesome. It is very good.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think there's going to be a discussion in Talk Story.
Yep. Talking Story and BellTube. They're doing a big read along and discussion about it soon. So pretty exciting stuff. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're working on something too.
Me?
When are you going?
Man, yeah. It's in the early stages still. So I'm hoping that maybe like by the end of 2025, I'll either be releasing something or at least know when it's going to be coming out in 2026.
But can you tell us something about it? Just a little bit. Just an elevator pitch,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fantasy, of course.
I don't want to make you blush, but
no.
Practice, because people are going to ask you all the time.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's fantasy, of course, and it's kind of grimdark, but a little more hopeful, lighter. So I don't know what genre it will be considered, but it basically mashes up a bunch of different things I love in a more of a low magic medieval type fantasy world. But basically you have a big evil empire, kind of like think of the Empire from Star Wars. And they go through these kingdoms, they take over areas, and when they do, they wipe out everyone except for the kids, and then they take the kids and they kind of indoctrinate them and brainwash them to become their assassins, their soldiers, things like that. So our main POV, it'll have a few different ones, but our main one is a character that was one of those kids that got brainwashed, became an assassin, did a lot of bad things, but he kind of eventually breaks free of that, and he's on the run from this evil empire, but he's also trying to get revenge. So what he does, because he's actually a decent singer, he hides under the guise of a bard that's very like non-assuming, and he travels kingdom to kingdom to do shows, but he's really kind of stalking these members of the empire to take them out.
I love it so much.
I'm pretty excited.
Tell me the name of this character.
Well, I'm not 100% sure yet. I mean, I kind of have a name. So I actually use one of those So his bard name, I'll tell you that, is the
Okay.
blossoming bard is his
Oh,
bard
wow.
name that he goes and does shows with. But I'm still working on character names. I'm not sure. I
Uh-huh.
think I know what it's gonna be, but I'll let you know when I know for sure.
Yeah, I'll be completely enraged and so hateful if I don't read this book before all the others
Oh
with
yeah, no,
large
I will.
advance.
Oh yeah, I will definitely. You will be on the list of people I want to read it and check it out and tell me
Okay,
what you think
okay,
for sure, my friend.
okay. This
And you
video will
and
be
I
online. I will be using it
yeah.
against you. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, for sure, my friend. You will. You are on the list. I did want to show you what Janny said too. She said that your book is a chance for you to get revenge on her, so you can break
No,
her with your book.
there's no way that my little book will have that kind of impact on anyone. I
Oh man.
write for escapism. I know it's a good story. I have fun characters, but and growing up, I got able to understand what stage of a lifetime a book has been written by that
Mhm.
authors. Okay,
Right.
you can kind of tell how mature of a person that one is
Yeah.
when they wrote that book.
Hmm.
And I can tell that Johnny was in a peculiar position when she wrote that book. That she
Okay.
already was someone that had so much to tell,
Hmm.
and that kind of skills and refined skills to say something like that. Okay, so I am 43 years old. I know I have a good amount of stuff to say, and I
Yep.
had meaningful experiences, but I have not been reading that much and writing, sorry, that much.
Right. Yeah.
I think I can deliver a good book. I think I can deliver
Mhm.
an enjoyable experience with kind of an original spin. But a masterpiece is a masterpiece,
Yep.
and an entertaining story is an entertaining story. And I think that we have to be uh, conscious of what we can deliver. I'm not shooting for the star, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to deliver an enjoyable story, something that is well packaged, and that when you read it, you get to the end and you don't think I wasted my time, okay?
Hmm.
That's my goal, okay, to give you something enjoyable. But when you touch something like that, when you touch something like Malazan, like The Curse of the Mistwright, when you touch something like Assassin's Apprentice,
Yeah.
or The Wheel of Time, or The Expanse, you know those people wasn't aware. They were on a different level. And the older you get, the easier it is. By now, you see, back there, I'm
Hmm.
reading something by E.L. Modesit.
Oh yeah.
He's not a young guy by any means. He's a
Hmm.
master of science fiction and fantasy. And when you read the first one, which is Isolate, you can tell that that guy is pretty old and really wise in his writing style. When you read that book, it's an entire universe that opens up,
Hmm.
because what they know about life, the layers and the nuances of human experience, they're so different from what you can deliver when you're 30 years old,
Yeah.
when you're 40 years old. Those kind of books are a gold mine.
Right.
And with that, I'm not implying that Jenny is old. She's 20 years old, I know. But her ability to explore certain themes the way she does,
Yeah.
only she can do.
Yeah.
Okay. And only
Right.
grown-ups, differently young people can do something like that. So
Yeah.
that was a nice statement and a nice catchphrase for Jenny, but I know that there's absolutely no way I can do something like that. But it was nice for her to say.
Well, hey man, you never know. All of us still need to read it, so we don't know yet. You didn't think your cover reveal would go viral, did you?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Uh-huh. See? You so
I had my parachute open, ready for disaster, bracing for disaster, to be completely
oh.
ignored. But you know what this cover reveal taught me too?
Mhm.
I had to be brave and search for help. And I
Yep.
knew that a bunch of people were going to be
Right.
generous and helpful.
Yeah.
But I was hesitant to contact a small amount of people because I had a good amount of interaction, but I wasn't sure if they were going to see it like crossing a line, asking
Right.
for help or something like that. Most of the people I was hesitant for they gladly helped. And they
Yeah.
were really generous, and they did everything they could to help me. And a few of the most easygoing that I was thinking, oh, of course they're going to help me, they completely ignored me.
Oh no.
I will remember.
That's right. He's got a list.
Life is strange, you know. So yeah, I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
expect it to be that good, and I hope that when people read that book, they will see the way I write, the way I
Mhm.
conceptualize writers, I'm sorry, characters,
Yeah.
and themes and scenes, and that they will see, "Mhm, I can see it. That's something that comes from his mind,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's exactly the way he thinks. That's exactly what he likes, especially if they come from my YouTube channel and they know what I like to read. They will see this is something he would like to read. So
Right.
if the story is not particularly dark, if the story
Mhm.
is not particularly gruesome,
Yeah.
if there's no smooth, it's because Abel wrote it because it's
Yeah.
exactly his sensibility.
Mhm.
And I hope that they reach that point, that they
Yeah.
see that it is a story that I wrote it that way because I need to feel comfortable
Yeah.
in that story, and to explore things in the way in a way that only I can do, in a way
Right.
that is satisfactory for me. So that's my goal, for them to have fun and to understand who wrote that story. Okay.
Yeah. I love it. I love it, man. All right. So hard to believe, but we've been talking for an hour and 20
Yeah.
minutes already. It's just flying by. And actually, I could talk to you for another hour and 20 minutes. But
Yeah, I know. I
unfortunately,
don't want to steal you
I
from your
know, I know.
life.
I have to be somewhere at 2,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately. My wife texted me before this and said she's at work and we're doing some house stuff and she needs me to pick up something from a cabinet store from a certain person that only works on
Remember,
today
you
and
have
they're only there
commitments.
till 2. Yeah. So now I'm like, great. I'm gonna be talking to Abel. I'm gonna want to keep talking. I'm gonna have to leave. So anyway, I gotta cut this short. But I do want to have you on again as we get closer to release date to shout out your book
Absolutely.
and actually I would want to have you on anytime you want because this is a lot of fun, my friend.
Let's do
I had a
it. Let's
blast.
do it whenever you want. And I hope I'll be able to do the same and to have you on my channel too.
Oh yeah,
And thank you
I'm
to
definitely
everybody
down.
who's been here.
Yeah.
And yeah, on a particular timing too, because I know it's not the most favorable for you in the US.
Yeah,
It is
no,
pretty
yeah,
comfortable for me.
we had a great crew. Yeah, we had a great group. A lot of people come in. You guys were an awesome chat group. I do want to shout out a couple of people that popped in now before we go. Palmer Pickering is here. Another
Oh, what
awesome
an
indie
incredible
author.
woman.
He's
She's
fantastic.
incredible.
Yep. Yep.
Incredible.
And then I do want to give a shout out to my friend. I'm not sure if it's Marcelo or Marcello but he is from
I
the
think it's
Philippines.
Marcelo.
Marcelo, okay. He's from the
Marcelo.
Philippines and he reached out to me yesterday and just said he loved my channel and that blew my mind. I'm like, somebody in the Philippines is watching my videos. So thank you, my friend, for popping in. I know you're busy, so I appreciate that. But this was a great chat. Thank you so much, Abel. I appreciate you. I'm so excited for
Thank you
you.
for having me.
Of course,
Absolutely.
this is just the beginning, my friend. I think you were a bestseller in Italy. You are going to be a bestseller here. So I cannot wait to see your journey continue to grow. It's going to be awesome, my friend.
Thank you so
So thank
much.
you. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody in the chat. As I said before, there'll be links in the description below for Preorder Link and for Abel's YouTube channel. You can follow him on all the socials and also the ARC sign up. I'll have it down there. So everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Is there anything else you want to say, Abel, before we sign off?
Be kind to to all your friends and to strangers, and keep reading even when you're tired and when the world is ugly outside. Books will be there for you, waiting for you.
Yes, I love it because that goes along with what I always say at the end, which is until I see you guys in the next one, devour your TBRs, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see you guys. Everybody have a great weekend. Take care.